This is Brooklyn, St. Michael, live, coming to you once again from where? Aquaponics Paradise. Woo, it's going down, bringing you the heat, bringing you the fire, bringing you the flame. It's going down. I done ate about 1,000 vegetables. You can see they're all gone here because we eat these things around here. I done ate about 100 fruits, all types of energy running through my vein. My mind is clear. I got all types of energy busting out. I might backflip if you keep playing with me. Some of y'all been asking if I can backflip. I might do a real one if you keep playing with me. All types of energy. I'm already ready to sweat. I don't care. Towel, wipe it off. It's going down. You see the title. You see the title. It is what it is. We're going to touch on it right now. Now, I want to preface this by saying this is going to hurt some people's feelings, but that's not the intention. The intention is to help those of you out that actually want to know an alternative to doing aquaponics other than what you see in the mainstream culture of aquaponics right now. So that's what this is intended for. Those of you that have never built an aquaponics system before, and those of you that are just learning about aquaponics. I want to present you with the options so you can make the decision that's most suitable for you. You can make your move on the chessboard. It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to present the information to you and let you know what other possibilities are out there. So with that being said, let's get into it. Now, we all know that the aquaponic culture is built around DIY. It's not nothing hidden. Everyone in aquaponics wants to DIY everything. They would DIY the water pump if they could. And I've been in that world before. I was in that world. I come from that world. So I know how the people think. I know why they think that way, and I know how they maneuver. Ain't no fooling the aquaponics god. I've been there, and I'm here to share some experiences with you. And so you can make the right choice on whatever's most suitable for you. Some of you are gonna stay DIY. Some of it's just embedded in your soul and in your blood. That's not a problem. But for those of you that are carrying and moving on, as we progress and move the culture of aquaponics to a different route, the high class growers, you're gonna come along and you're gonna appreciate the information. Now, with that being said, we can look into other niches, other growing methods such as gardening. We see that these people take pride in what they do. These people go out there and invest the money. For the most part, they invest the money in getting their system looking right, or getting their garden looking right, and getting the right material to do the job and to do it right. And believe me, they better do that, because all that back-breaking work, man, if they didn't have the right material and the right tools, woo, they're in for a treat. Man, bless you out there who are doing gardening with back-breaking work and all those tools. Bless you, but nonetheless, it still looks good. You can tell that these people have a lot of pride in their hobby, and I have to commend them for that. Also, you have hydroponics. These people take pride in what they do. For the most part, the culture is not DIY everything. That's not the culture. Their stuff looks presentable. It looks like something that someone who has, you know, a little bit of pride, maybe a little bit of money, could put in their backyard and can invite people over to be like, hey, check this out. Check it out. When you get over to aquaponics, it's a different story, and you know it. All you guys know it. It's raggedy. We have to be honest with ourselves. It's raggedy, and I was part of it as well. Like I said, I come from that world. It's straight raggedy. People look at aquaponics and outside are looking in, and we know because we've surveyed the people who are not involved in aquaponics, and they can look at it and be like, it looks like it's something cool, but it doesn't look like something I would stick in my backyard. And I think that that's one of the reasons why aquaponics hasn't taken off to the level that it should be at right now, because everyone should know about aquaponics. Everyone should be doing aquaponics. This is not something that should be passed up by people. But when they look at the aesthetics of it, it's not appealing. You can't bring no girl over to your house with half-cut barrels and half-cut IBC toast talking about this is what I grow the food out of. It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit. For the ladies out there, you can't bring no guy over there with that. You can't bring no guy over there with that. That doesn't look like you take pride in your stuff. We have to be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves. We got to step back and take another look at it for what it is, and then we have to go ahead and make our adjustments. Now, I'm telling you right now, what I'm telling you and what I'm suggesting is that there's alternative ways, as you can see. We need to go ahead and step our game up in the aquaponic niche and let these people know we're not playing games. This is high class farming. This is something that this is the highest level of farming, the highest level of producing food, the highest level. We're sitting back. It's easy work. We use our mind around here, and we don't do all that physical stuff no more. We use our mind and technology. That's what we do around here. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the components in aquaponics that are people DIY to the death. And I want to show you why you shouldn't be doing that. Now, let's start with the hoop house structure. You should be using a hoop house structure, although it's not necessary, but it has a lot of benefits to using to having some type of structure where you can house your vegetables. It just finished raining out here, and believe me when I tell you, I'm not about to be out here in no rain in my aquaponics system without a structure. It's not going down. I did that before. It's uncomfortable. It's not what us high-class growers do. We build us something here to protect it, and then we can go in here, no matter if it's raining, snowing, whatever it is, whatever it's doing outside, don't got nothing to do with us. Come in here and we can still get busy. Now, when people build a hoop house structure or a greenhouse structure, what they like to do is they like to go out and grab the PVC pipes. I'm guilty of it too, ladies and gentlemen. I'm guilty of it. I got one back there right now, still posted up, that I can't wait to get rid of. I don't even want to look at that thing anymore. Now, when you go out and do that, what happens is you feel like you're gonna save money up front, and it is true. Up front, you are gonna save you a few bucks. You're gonna save you a few bucks grabbing your PVC pipe, you know, getting it done the way you think it's supposed to be done. And when you put it up, go ahead and grab your clear plastic, which you can't DIY. I promise you if someone could, they would, but you can't get out of that. So we have to go and buy our clear plastic. We put it over there. Matter of fact, there are people who will get out there and DIY that. But for the most part, most people don't DIY that. But you put your clear plastic over, what happens is, or what happened to me is about a season and a half into using it, the PVC starts to leach out. There's chemicals in there that start to leach, and when they come in contact with the plastic, it starts to tear holes in your junk. Holes in your junk. So the hoop house that I have back there, that thing only lasted for less than a year, about a year and a half, something around there, and then it already had holes in it. So that means I had to go out and reinvest again in another plastic. You do that for about 3, 4, 5 years, boom. That's where it bit you in the behind. You've already spent more money on trying to maintain a DIY system than what you would have spent if you would have just built it right the first time with the right materials. That's the kicker. There's a kicker in all of this. There's something that bites you in the behind when you try to take the shortcut up front. This is what I want you to understand. And this is what everything, and you can find this in all types of facets in life as well. Shortcuts up front always lead to biting you in the behind in the back end. So the PVC hoop house, we got to get that out of there. I would not recommend doing that unless you want to keep spending money over and over and over trying to work on it and doing maintenance on it over. And those of you who have it out there, I know you know what I'm talking about because there ain't no way around it. Especially if you live in a hot, arid climate. I know your hoop house has torn down and it has holes all in there. But some people don't want to admit that, hey, listen, I'm paying more over time when I do it this way. I'm here to tell you that's what's going to happen. What else do you have? The tanks. We should not be DIYing the tanks. It should not be happening. We shouldn't be building no rectangle boxes for tanks, putting it in there. That does not look aesthetically pleasing and it does not do the job properly. It just doesn't. Tanks are made and designed by manufacturers for a reason. They've already done the research. They know exactly how it's supposed to work and they manufacture it to give it to you so you can use it for what it's intended to be used for. We're not doing no more DIY tanks. That includes Intex pools. I've already been there as well. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work and it doesn't look hot. It's not high class. It doesn't look hot. We're not doing those water tanks. Some people have water tanks that they're using for fish tanks. We're not doing that in aquaponics. Not the high class growers. People who want to stay doing DIY, you can do that, but not the high class growers. You want to bring a girl over and be like, hey, this is my system. You want to bring a guy over, this is my system. You want to show some pride, this is my system, then we're not doing that. We got to cut that out. Filters, the filtration. Oh man, let me go ahead and wipe my head for this again. Oh man, the filtration is really one thing we don't want to be DIYing no more. You don't really want to DIY the filtration. You know what? I had a guy make a comment on here. This man said, the bead filter that you see right here, this man said, wow, the thing is great. How can I DIY that? Is there a DIY version of that? I gotta wipe my head again. We gotta cut this stuff out, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta cut it out. If this is your hobby, this is your hobby. You invest in your hobby. This is what fulfills your soul. You invest, you get the right equipment. So you don't have to pay for all the things at the end. Since getting this filter, oh man, the game has changed. The game has changed. It doesn't have to be this filter. It could be a drum filter. Those are gonna cost more, but I don't know any filter that's easier than this right here. I would not even think about considering a DIY filter. Not even an option. If there's one thing that I would not DIY, it would have to be the filter. That's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. It would definitely have to be the filter. It's that important. It makes that much of a difference. I'm trying to let you know. Shake you up around here a little bit. I'm trying to let you know. Fix my camera, man. Now the hydroponic component, this one has a little bit of leeway. Little bit of leeway because it doesn't have too much of a function. That's not super important. It's not super important. You can get them manufactured, even though I recommend it for the aesthetic purposes. I do recommend it, but some of you guys out there have been DIYing for the longest amount of time. You've already figured out how to build like a raft system. You can build it and make it look pretty good. If you can make it look pretty good, aesthetically pleasing, looks like you take some pride in your system, by all means, but I still recommend getting a manufactured one. I still would recommend that. Only because it's already designed, it's out of the box, you put it together, it's very simple. But if you've already got experience and you know how to make the boxes perfect, you know, and you can do it all right and make it look hot, by all means, go for it. Now, the NFT, I'm done with all that. I'm done with the PVC pipes. I'm through with all that. We got some new NFT channels that's going to be coming in that are manufactured, professional, done the right way that we're going to be bringing out. And they don't even cost a lot of money. That's the real crazy thing. The stuff doesn't cost a lot of money on a small scale. It definitely does not cost a lot of money. Relative to the amount of work it's going to save you in the long run. That's what I'm basing it off of. It's going to cost a little bit more up front, and that's the price you pay for aquaponics. This is something that you have to invest in. We're using technology. Unless you want to get out there, if you want to use all your time and all your physical energy, you need to be doing gardening, because that one doesn't require hardly any upfront investment. Not too much. Not nearly as much as aquaponics. You can get out there and break work all day. And that'll be suitable for a lot of people. But aquaponics is a technological production method. It requires technology and your mind. Those are the two things that it requires. If you're adding all this extra labor that comes with it, then that's not aquaponics. That's not aquaponics, ladies and gentlemen. That's not the high-class farming method that we're talking about. So, once again, the hydroponic component, you can slide by with that. You can slide by with that, for sure. I can understand that, because it doesn't, you know, it doesn't make too much of a difference whether you buy it manufactured or if you go ahead and build it yourself. Just make sure you know how to build it yourself right and make it look good. So with that being said, the DIY aquaponics, we're getting ready to phase that out. There's a time right now where we're separating the men from the boys. I'm going to go ahead and say it straight out right now. The DIY, people who are going to stay in that world, they can stay in that world. But we're moving towards the high-class growers. We're going to represent aquaponics the way it's supposed to be represented, which is a high-class production method. Technology in our mind. That's what we're doing around here. We're not going to sit out here cranking wrenches all day and building a whole bunch of stuff that we don't need to build when we can go out and invest a little bit of money and go ahead and have the stuff that's already manufactured to do what it's supposed to do. Someone asked about the DIY filter. Like I said, that thing is crazy. That thing, I couldn't believe that. That's when I knew for sure, you know, aquaponics is just The mindset and the culture in aquaponics is just on another level. I've never seen any type of other niche DIY so hard. Never have I seen that. And like I said, DIY, this is a mindset and it follows you. That's the thing. It not only gets you in aquaponics, it follows you throughout the rest of your life with everything that you do. You'll start noticing you're burning a lot of time doing other things, trying to fix everything and do everything when you could just easily pay someone to do it. You can pay someone to do it and save yourself the most valuable resource that you can ever have, which is your time. I'm guilty of it before, but I learned lessons quick. I don't need to be, someone don't need to show me 1,000 times that it ain't working when you do it that way. I used to go out there and dig all types of holes and all types of trenches, building fish tanks when I first started, shovels. I'm not doing that no more. That's for the birds. That's for the gorillas. I'm not doing that no more. That's for the snakes and rabbits. They can go dig holes. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go get my neighbor Alonzo. You get over here with this tractor, I'll pay you, and you can dig some holes for me. That's what it's intended to be used for. The same thing with when cutting grass. I used to be out here when I first came here. DIY was all in my mind. When I first got here, I'm cutting 3 acres of grass. I done went and bought me a lawnmower cutting 3 acres of grass. How crazy is that? That's burning 6 to 8 hours a week. I'm not doing that no more. After about a season and a half, I said, hold on. Why am I out here doing that? That's not what I came out here for. That wasn't my purpose. I'm gonna go and hire someone to come out here and do that. And so I can save my 6 to 8 hours and go use my time to go do something that I'd rather be doing. Like doing my aquaponics, spending time with my daughter, doing other things. There's a price to pay, ladies and gentlemen, for doing DIY. It's a mindset and it follows you. I promise you this. You'll look around, people who are highly involved with DIY, you can see the way it follows them in the rest of their life. It burns up a lot of time trying to do everything. So with that being said, we're moving on. We're getting past the DIY. That's going to be a phase in the past. We're moving forward. The high class growers are coming in. We're taking over. Those of you that are going to stay DIY, you can stay there by all means. Have fun. Those of you that are going to move forward, we're coming along and we're pushing forward. We're going to take pride in what we do. We're going to represent aquaponics the right way. We're going to introduce it to the world. We're going to give a reason for people to get out there and grow their own vegetables and fish. This is fun. People would love to do this. It has to be aesthetically pleasing. They can't invite their girlfriend or their boyfriend over if they got half barrels and half cut IBC totes. It's not hot. You can look at it and look for yourself. All of the other niches are taking pride in what they do. Aquaponics is really not. Most people don't respect it as a science. This is the law of the land, and it's something that I've had to come to when I began developing myself in aquaponics as well. I had to come to this realization that something's not working. Something's not working. Aquaponics is supposed to be out there, and it's supposed to be spreading like crazy, and it's not. But now we're about to change the game. This is the law of the land, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you that are coming along, we're about to go. We're separating ourselves right now. Aquaponics is not just one whole group. It's aquaponics. You got your DIY section, and you got your high class growers. You pick the side you're gonna go on, and that's how we're rolling from here on out. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not a game. We eat our vegetables, we get in shape. This is what high class growers do. We look good, we represent ourselves, we take pride on the outside as far as the inside as well. We stand for something, and we're gonna move aquaponics to the next level. You're coming, let's go. You're staying, by all means stay. But I'm telling you now, the DIY is gonna be phased out. There's millions upon millions of people that never heard about aquaponics, and we're about to show it to them, and we're gonna show them the right way to do it without all the extra stuff that's unnecessary, that's gonna be putting people back and setting people back when that's not what aquaponics is intended to be intended for. So with that being said, this is Brooklyn St. Michael reminding you to stop walking and get you a car.